Stir your cauldron well, chant your words and sing your spell.
Welcome back to the PurpleBroom Apothecary Presents. I'm your host, Natalie, and today in the Witch's Brew, I'd like to share that I am enjoying some secret garden tea from the Armchair Anthropologist. They are located at the Black Swan Inn in San Antonio, so check them out if you happen to be in the area. This tea is absolutely delightful. I know it's been a minute since I've put a video out, and I want to just let you all know that I know it's been a while, and I am somewhat apologetic to my viewers that I've been lax in adding to the channel lately. Those of you that don't know, there was a death in my family that has impacted my family greatly, and so I had to take some time to step back and kind of get myself and my family together before I could come back and give you guys good content. But it is my intention going forward to try to put up at least one new video a week, and I will be going back to the podcasts. In fact, I'm very excited to announce that the Purple Mystic, a podcast for the modern witch, will be hosting the absolutely wonderful Philip Cargom next month in a podcast, and I hope to go back to doing at least one a week or one every 2 weeks with someone new. I'm looking to try to get a few new people on there that I have not spoken to in the past. So looking forward to that. Today's video is going to be straight from my Book of Shadows. It's going to be under my Witching It Up list, under my playlist. And this is a home protection powder. This is a powder that you sprinkle in your carpet and just vacuum it up. Now, for those of you that may not have carpet in your home, I'm going to tell you what you can do as an alternative at the end of the video. Those of you that know me know that I absolutely love the wonderful Dorothy Morrison. This is her book, Utterly Wicked. It has been re-released and has a new cover. This is the older version. I don't know if she expanded it. I think she told me it was the exact same book, but it's being re-released, I believe, under a new publisher with a new cover that her friend drew for her. And the working I'm going to show you today is actually a variation of one that she has in here that she calls her home protection powder also. So what will you need for this? Well, first of all, refreshment. Okay, you are going to need a bowl or a mortar and pestle to mix everything in. You will need, for my version of it, baking powder. I use baking powder because baking powder is absorbent, and it is known to kind of absorb things out of the environment. So, like, if you leave it open, it'll kind of absorb stuff. You put it in your fridge to keep your refrigerator fresh because it absorbs all the odors and smells. It is absolutely excellent for absorbing negative energies out of your environment. So I love to use this. Now, it also will absorb odors out of your carpet. Lavender. I absolutely love lavender. Lavender is designed to promote a sense of peace in your home. It's very calming, and it just has a lovely fragrance. So it adds something nice, puts something back in, taking out, putting in. Another thing that I like to add is dried rose petals. Now, I will have links to the herbs that I use down below in the description bar. Feel free to click those links. My source is Mountain Rose Herbs. They are all organic, and most of their products are kitchen grade. In fact, I think all of the edible things are kitchen grade, so you should be able to get something out of that. But rose petals, you can use these for teas also, is what I'm getting at. Now, the other item that I like to add is orange peel. Now, these are orange peels that I myself have dried and collected, and they need to be broken up really, really good. Some people like to add other things. I will also sometimes add a little bit of rosemary. I love rosemary. I think it has wonderful protective powders. It's no powers. It has a wonderful fragrance. It's also a natural repellent for mosquitoes, just an FYI. And for those of you that like practical magic, plant rosemary for luck. So rosemary is something I also like to add to my personal one. Other things I sometimes add, but not always, or I know other people do. Sea salt sometimes gets added as an ingredient to kind of cleanse. That's one of the reasons I use rosemary and orange. They're both known as cleansing agents, especially energetically or spiritually. I've also seen people use cascarilla powder in there in place of baking soda. I like cascarilla powder because I think it's protective. And remember, this is all going to get vacuumed out. So, it's just that I find this is better for like perimeter work or in your garden. I really like the power of baking soda, but there's nothing that says you can't use both. It's just, this is definitely known for protection. I use it a lot in my protection spells for money. Like my money drawing spells, I want to protect my nest egg, so to speak. So cascarilla powder is something I will use there. Another thing I have heard people use is tobacco, because tobacco is very good for drawing in the energies of your ancestors. But since this powder is designed to kind of draw out and eliminate negative energies, I don't typically myself use tobacco. I actually prefer to use tobacco as an offering, especially for ancestor works. I just happen to love the smell of tobacco. Okay, so that is some of the things that I use. So what will you need to do? Well, I like to just combine all of these ingredients in my bowl and mix them up. You can leave it loose if you want. I personally love to grind these ingredients, the herbal ingredients, the lavender, the rose petals, the orange peel, and the rosemary. I will ground those down to a fine powder, and then I add in the baking soda, and I just store it in an airtight jar with a lid. And when I'm ready, I will sprinkle it out. What I have done in the past is I have taken jars and then poked holes in the lid to make like a sprinkler. Sometimes you can find shaker jars that have a lid on them, and then when you open them, they have the little holes in them so you can shaker it out, kind of like you do Renewsit carpet powder, something like that. But basically, that's exactly what you will do. You will sprinkle this in the carpets all over your home. I usually like to start in the eastern part of my home because my front door faces the east. So I want to welcome in positive energies while pushing out negative energies. So I will work counterclockwise. And sometimes I will even go like counterclockwise and then go clockwise from the east out to the west and push everything out the back door of my house. I try to always end up at the back door of my house. Same thing when I do upstairs because my back door is right below my grandson's bed. So I like to kind of work it out that way and then just vacuum everything out. And when I vacuum, I do the same thing. I go counterclockwise with the vacuuming so that I can make sure that everything is kind of moving towards that back door and out the door. Then once you have vacuumed, do not dispose of the vacuum powder, because I do recommend you clean out your vacuum. But as you're vacuuming, you definitely want to keep in mind your intent. And I cannot stress to you the importance of adding each ingredient and speaking your intent into that ingredient. I literally speak it into the bowl. So to absorb negative energies, to keep out negative energies, to promote a sense of peace and calm, to increase love within the home, to spiritually cleanse and keep clean and pure the energies within my home. I will say those things as I add them into the bowl or the mortar and pestle and I crush them up. Then you mix it all together, like I said, sprinkle it. And as I'm vacuuming, I am speaking again. As I release the negative energies, may these herbs blend and bring in positive energies into the environment, promoting love within my home, blah, blah, blah. Much as you do when you are saging, or if you're one of those that does not like to sage because of appropriation issues, but maybe you smudge with other things. I use rosemary and dragon's blood. Pardon my hair, it has a mind of its own. Rosemary and dragon's blood is something that I use to cleanse out my home. I use it as a loose incense and I smoke it through my home. Whoops, catch that earring right on in there. That's smart. That should go in a blooper reel. So you always want to, as you remove something, it creates a vacuum. So make sure you're speaking back in what you want in your home. So that is my home protection powder, a couple of variations. Now, if you do not have carpet in your home, you can make this into a floor wash. So what I will do with that is I will create a mop water and I will add essential oils of lavender, rose, rosemary, and orange for all of the same reasons. You can even add the sea salt, which is salt is somewhat absorbent as well. So that's why sometimes they'll put rice in there to keep it from absorbing. So if you want to do that in place of this, because you have a wash, just be careful because salt can also be drying. And so if you have natural hardwood floors, you may not want to add a whole lot of that, but you can add that to your wash water and make it into a wash and use it that way. You can also, if you don't want to use it as a wash, you can combine the herbal ingredients into a loose incense and, you know, do a clearing of your home and then use these herbs as a potpourri or a loose incense. And in which case I probably would go ahead and add the cascarilla. We are from Texas. Cascarilla and sea salt to kind of promote it, or tobacco to bring in the energies for the ancestors into the home as a loose incense, and that's another way you can do it if you do not want to do that. So you'll just mix it in the bowl, put it in an airtight jar or a jar that's got a shaker to it, sprinkle it on the carpet, vacuum it. So I hope that this is beneficial to you all. I do encourage you all to check out Utterly Wicked. Dorothy Morrison is fabulous. Again, if you want some delicious teas, Armchair Anthropologist is your go-to. I don't know if they have a website. That was actually a gift from my sister when she was working out at the Swan as well. And I just absolutely love their secret garden. They also have a great one called Love Potion. Check it out. It's pretty magical. So thank you again for watching, and again, check out the rest of the videos in this playlist. There will be more videos going into the Witch It Up series and into the Herb Cabinet series. For links to purchase the herbs, if you want good quality, high quality herbs, check out the link below in the description bar, and thank you so much for watching. Blessed be.